Hi guys, welcome back to another Yoga Fit session. I'm in a bit of a different scenery today. I'm in the gym that I work at on a weekly basis, and I wanted to bring you this session which is going to be a weighted Yoga Fit session. So for this session you are going to need 2 equal weights, so whether that is 2 cans of beans at the same weight or maybe just 2 light weights. I've got 2 kg weights with me today, and other than that, just a yoga mat and some comfy clothing, and then you're good to go. So let's get started. Okay, so first things first, we want to get the body warmed up and ready to go. So I want you to just begin by starting with some marching on the spot and just basically starting to elevate the heart rate and get the body a little warm. So starting with some little marches on the spot, and then from here we're going to take a step out to the side and to the other side. So you're taking a little bit of a bend at the knee, stretching out through the arms and the legs. Once more through to each side, and then come back into marching. Now this time I want you to place your hands in front of you, and you're going to bring the knees up to the hands. So we're doing some high knees. It can be nice and slow, or a slower pace, as long as you're getting the heart rate up. Then from here, you're going to bring the hands to your bottom and do some flicks, bringing the feet up to kick the hands, and feel free to take the hands a little lower. Depends on the length of the legs and where the hands are, so just adjust. And then from here we're going to step forward into some lunges. So firstly, stepping the left foot forwards, taking a little lunge and coming back. Right foot, coming back. So we're just going to keep swapping over, taking a bend at both knees and coming back up. Once more to each side, and then come back to the center. So come back to your marching. We're going to do some little stretches to begin with. So we're going to take a little flow, stretch out a little bit, and then we're going to start to introduce those weights. So step up to the top of your mat, whichever end is absolutely fine. Take a breath in, reach up with the arms. Breathe out, fold forwards. Soft bend through the knees, bring the fingertips down. From here, you're going to step your left leg back behind you. We're going to turn this into a little lunge. So press through the fingertips, rise the torso, bring the fingers off the ground. Take a breath in, reach up. When you get there, breathe out, draw the belly in. Taking a few breaths here. And then you're going to open up to that left side, pivot on that left foot, reach the fingertips out to the side, look over this right hand. Then from here, lower the left hand down, right arm lifts up. We're going to swap over, right arm comes down to the leg, left arm reaches all the way over to the right side. We're going to open back out. And then from here, you're going to walk in your right foot. So the toes are going to face this long edge of the mat. Take a little bend through the knees, bring the hands to the waist, take a nice breath in, stand up tall through the torso. Then you're going to fold forwards, keeping a nice flat back. So you almost want to send the hips back a little bit. Take as much of a bend through the legs as you need to, and just bring the hands onto the thighs, or maybe even onto the shin. You're going to take a few breaths here. On your next breath in, you're going to rise up. So lift the head a little, bring the hands to the hips, draw the belly in as you press through the heels, stand back up. From here, we're going to step over to the other side. So you're going to turn the left foot out to that left side. Press through this right foot, step up to the top of your mat. From here, we're going to swap it over to the other side. Take a breath in, rise up with the arms. Breathe out, soften through the knees. Fold forwards, fingertips down to the ground. From here, we're stepping the right leg behind us. Taking a bend through that front knee, pressing off the ground, reaching the arms forwards on an inhale. Reaching up with the fingers. Exhale, pause here for a couple of breaths. Then you're going to open out the right foot and the right arm to that right side. Soft bend through that right, left leg even. Reach the fingertips away from the body. We're going to add a little bit more stretch. Right arm comes down, left arm comes over. Left arm comes down, right arm reaches over. You're going to come all the way back to the center, reach the fingertips away, and then lower the arms, straighten that knee, bring the feet parallel, feet, toes, peeking out to that long edge of the mat. Hands to the hips once more, soften through the knees, send the hips back as you fold forwards, hinging from the hips. Bring the hands onto the thighs, onto the shins. Take a few nice, deep breaths here. So from here, you can bring your hands onto blocks if you want to, or see if you can just come a little lower. This time now rounding out through the back. Crown of the head comes down towards the ground. We're going to stretch out a little bit through the back now. So take a nice big breath in. And as you breathe out, you're going to walk the hands over to the left leg. Take a few breaths here. Take a nice big breath in. Breathe out, walk over to the right. Again, take a few breaths over on this side. Breathe in. Breathe out, come back to the center. Bring the hands back onto the legs so you can lift a little bit so you've got a nice straight back. And then bring the hands onto the hips. We're going to unfold, so press back into the heels, sit back a little, press through the legs as you stand back up. From here, you're going to heel toe the feet back in. And then we're going to come back to a little bit of marching on the spot just to re-elevate that heart rate. And then you're going to turn around to your mat. I'm going to pick up those weights. So nice and light, nothing too crazy. And you're just going to come into a little bit of marching on the spot, holding those weights. From here, we're going to come into those little lunges. So you're going to step the left foot forwards, take a bend through the right knee, come into a little low lunge, and then lift up. So we're going to do a lower down and lift up. Make sure you're drawing the belly in and pressing through the feet. Looking forwards. You've got one more. As you come down, you're going to pause and hold it here. And then press back through the legs. Shift the weight into that back foot and then step it forwards. From here, you can come back to a little bit of marching, come into the center of your mat. And we're going to swap over onto the other side. So right foot comes forwards this time. Firstly, just finding that feet positioning where you can come down into a nice low lunge. Then press through the feet, lift back up. Lower and lift. Draw the belly in, press the feet down. You've got 3 more. Keep breathing. One more. You're going to pause and hold it at the bottom. I almost forgot. And then power through the legs. Shift the weight back into that back foot. Step that leg forwards. Come back to your marching on the spot. And then come to the center of the mat. We're going to take a breath in and rise the arms up to the side. So firstly, step your feet to about hip width distance apart. Draw the belly in towards the spine and soften through the knees. So a little soft bend looks like that. Feet about hip width distance apart, soft knees, draw the belly in, and then from here, hold onto the weights tight. You're going to open up the arms on an inhale and exhale them back down. Now if that feels really tough, take a breath in first. Breathe out, lift. Lower down. Take a breath in. Breathe out, lift. Lower down. Take a breath in. Breathe out, lift. Lower down. Take a nice big breath in. You can pause and rest for a moment. Well done, guys. So from here, we're going to see if we can combine those two movements into a little sequence. So we are going to take a few breaths to reset, and then we're going to come to the center of the mat because we're going to come back to those lunges. But this time we're going to go for a little lift through the arms. So left leg comes forwards, find that positioning firstly, and then from here just leave the back foot lifted. Take a breath in, breathe out. I want you to lift the arms up and then take them up overhead. Press up through the hands, and then we're going to lower down and lift. Keep that belly drawn in, lower down and lift. You've just got one more. Lower and lift. Take a breath in, breathe out, lower those weights with control down to the sides. Shift the weight into that back foot, step that leg forwards. Come back to the center of the mat, take some nice big breaths in and out. Refuel, reset. And then you're going to step right foot forwards, left back, leave the left heel lifted. Find that positioning first. Take a breath in. Breathe out, lift the arms up. And then up overhead. Press the weights up. And then you're going to take a breath in. Breathe out, lower. Lift back up. You're going for two more. Lower down. And lift. One more. Lower. And lift. Take a breath in. Breathe out, lower those weights with control down to your sides. Shift the weight into that back foot. Step it forwards. Good stuff. Well done. Take a few nice big breaths. Refuel. Feel free to put the weights down for a moment if you want to. And then from here, we're going to come down towards the mat. So come onto the knees. And I'm going to give you two variations of this. So if your plank pose, as in coming onto the hands, pressing the ground away and having a nice strong plank pose like this. Now, if that is not so strong and you probably, if you're not holding it for maybe a minute, then I would suggest we do it on the knees. For those of you that have got your minute plank sorted, then maybe you can challenge yourself and bring yourself into that plank. We're going to bring the weights up to the top where our hands would be. And then from here, we're going to take one of the weights away and just leave one in the middle there. Bring the hands down so that that weight is in the middle of the hands. Now, if you're going to be on your knees, you've got two options with it. You can start here with wrist stacked underneath the shoulders, knees stacked underneath the hips, or you can come onto a kneeling plank. So to do that, you either need to shift the knees back or shift the hands forwards, and then you're coming into a kneeling plank like this, drawing the belly in. No matter whether you're on your knees, on all fours, or in this, make sure you're drawing the belly in. Final option, if you're used to your plank, you're coming onto the toes, lifting up, pressing the ground away, and drawing the belly in. So, decide what you want to start with, and then I'm going to show you this movement in each variation. So, find what you want to commit to, and then ultimately, we're going to be dragging this weight from side to side, left to right. So you're going to draw the belly in, and you're going to take the weight over to the left side, bring it over to the right. You're then going to swap it over, lower the right hand down, take that weight over with the left hand to the left side. Lower that hand down and take it back over. I think you grasp what I'm showing you here. So as well as doing that, naturally you're going to want to shift from side to side. I want you to really try and stabilise through the body. So if I turn myself around, so that you're really staying nice and still as you do that, or as still as possible. There may be a little bit of movement, I know there is with me, but that you're not just going from side to side. So, find where you want to be. I'm going to take the middle option, take your weight over to the left side, and then start to prepare yourself either in a kneeling plank, a full plank, or on your hands and knees. So like I said, I'm going to go for a kneeling plank today. So, shift the hands a little bit, find that preparation, and then you're going to start to lift up the right hand, shift that weight over to the right, lower the right palm, then shift it over to the left, lower the left hand down, shift it over to the right, lower the right hand down, shift it over to the left, lower the hands down. Lower onto the knees for a minute, come back into all fours, and then just send the hips back for a minute. Just pause here, take a few breaths. Now, it's not the easiest one, but it is a really great one. So we're going to do that once more through. Now remember to continue to breathe as we move. So come back up onto all fours. And then you're going to find, and you might want to lower this. So maybe you want to come onto all fours now and just do this on all fours. Maybe you want to stick to whatever move you were doing before. It's completely up to you. You get to choose. So I'm going to go for a full lifted plank, just to also show you that variation as well. So when you're a full lifted plank, you come onto the toes, onto the balls of the feet. Press the ground away with the hands. Then you're going to shift weight over to the left side slightly, bring the right hand, shift the weight over to the right. Press into the right hand, shift the weight over to the left. Definitely get more movement in a lifted plank. So you're just shifting from side to side. We're going to do it once more to each side. Take your time, draw that belly in, and then lower onto the knees. Pause, take a few breaths. You can pop the weights out to the side, bring the hands behind, shift the chest forwards. Take a few breaths here, stretching out through the arms, and then you're going to lift the hips up, stretching out through the fronts of the legs now. Lower back down. You're going to walk the hands forwards, bring them in front of you, come onto all fours. You're going to shift and the knees around a little bit here. So we're going to shift the right knee forwards firstly. Left leg lifts, so you're coming onto the toes. Then you're going to take your right foot over to the left side, so you're kind of opening out the right knee to the right side. So my right foot is just over here. Then you're going to lower down onto that left knee, untuck the toes, and you can walk the hands in a little bit and see if you can lower the hips down a little bit further towards that heel. You're going to look forwards, and you should feel a nice little stretch coming down through the outside of this leg here. Take one more breath here. And then you're going to come onto the toes of the left foot, lift that left knee up, shift forwards a little, and then rotate the right knee, right foot round, and then you can press through that back foot, bring the knees back in, find your tabletop position here in the middle. We're going to do that on the other side, so firstly shifting the left knee forwards, right knee lifts, come onto the ball of the right foot. Then the left foot comes over to the right side. The left knee is coming out to the left side. Shift back, lower onto that right knee. Untuck the toes. You can walk the hands in a little closer. Lower the hips down towards the ground. Pause and breathe here. Taking one more breath. And then tucking that back toes under, lifting up the right knee, rotating the left foot round to the left side, walking the right knee in, and coming onto the knees. And we are all done. So thank you so much for joining me for this Yoga Fit session. I hope you have enjoyed working with some light weights and doing some slightly different exercises and just changing it up a little bit. Not too much of a long one today, but definitely one that's going to hit a lot of areas of the body, targeting specifically through the arms, through the shoulders, into the legs, and even into the belly as well with all of those movements. So hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you get on, how you get on with this video, and I hope to see you on the next video very soon. Take care, guys. Bye.